Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana. I'm super happy to have you here back. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to follow me more on my social media, please do so here. I'll be very glad to meet you there. So in today's video, as probably you already read in the title of the video, we're gonna discuss Dubai again. But this time, I'm gonna give you tips that no one ever tells you about Dubai. So stay tuned. Everyone knows Dubai because of the luxury lifestyle, the cars, the skyscrapers, the influencers living their best life. And this is all true. But what I want to point out is also the reality of it. Nothing bad, just the reality. So I'm gonna break this down to you today in the tips. First thing that I want to bring up that not really people talk about and not many people know before actually moving in here is that easy 80% of the population in Dubai are expats, meaning it's extremely international. The biggest group actually cover Pakistani, Indian people, but then there is also a lot of British people, a lot of people from Europe and especially I would say Balkan area and Philippines. You have a lot of diversity, a lot of nationalities. I've been here personally for 9 months and I don't know personally any local person. So this is crazy actually, but yeah, this is how it works in Dubai. So keep that in mind. What it actually means in reality is that the environment is super international. That also reflects on the culture, like the culture here, even though it's a Muslim country, is not that strong. Sure, you see the mosques everywhere, but it's not forced to you. You don't need to follow it. You can pick your own religion in very much freedom and no one is judging you for that. So it's actually good that it's so open. Number two is what probably you already expect, and that is that summer here is extremely hot. Sure, everyone tells you so, but can you imagine how hot it can get? Last year, I moved here basically in July, so I came in the middle of the hottest summer ever. I remember I had to go to the office just for some induction and everything. So at that time, because I was so new, I still didn't have my car sorted. I didn't have a rented car. I had to take a public transport. So I remember I took a metro and a bus. Once I got dropped at the location, I had to walk 10 minutes. What do you mean 10 minutes? I'm from a village in Slovakia. I used to walk like easy 30, 40 minutes. I'm used to this, yeah? So 10 minutes, sure, I can do that. See, and this is where many people are wrong. You can't. Because of the temperature, obviously. I believe that day it was 44 degrees. After 5 minutes of walking, I was already looking around. Because I was kind of in the middle of nowhere, I was like, where can I actually hide? Because my scalp was burning. I was even wearing, obviously sunscreen is a must here. I was wearing sunglasses, but everything was just going through my skin and I was just there with my water drinking. And I was thinking, whoa, this is a bit dangerous. And then I saw the smallest shadow of them all. So I quickly ran there. I hid myself for a while until I recharged, which also doesn't really help because the longer you're outside, the worse it gets. You become very sweaty and a bit sticky, I would say. And then I ran and I finally reached my destination. Luckily, everything here has AC. So the moment you just walk through the door, the AC hits you and you're like, I'm okay. Because of these spikes of temperature, many people also get sick because AC is everywhere. It's in the cars, it's in any building ever. It's in the shops, in restaurants. It's also sometimes in a bus stops. Especially in the central part of Dubai, there are bus stops that are actually covered with glass. So you can also obviously see the bus coming and there is an AC inside. So yeah, you have to be careful so that you don't get sick. People get sick just because of that. Anyway, me coming from Europe, especially Vienna, where it gets extremely windy, I hated autumn. Autumn was my most depressed season of the year ever because I hate rain. It was combined with a strong wind. No even need to have an umbrella because there was no point in having umbrella. The wind would just turn it upside down and you would lose the whole umbrella. So me coming from this background, I hated winter and especially autumn. Coming to Dubai, you can never see me complaining about the weather. Obviously, I know it's extreme, it's actually unhealthy. It goes to the point that it can actually burn your skin. It can become dangerous maybe for old people or people that have some health problems, maybe something with their heart, maybe asthma or something with their breathing. But luckily, me being a healthy individual, I was enjoying it. Like, you cannot see me complaining. Obviously, I can admit that it gets extremely hot. You cannot be simply outside. Even though I came in the middle of July and I wanted to explore a lot, the maximum I stayed outside was probably like 15 minutes, and I needed to go somewhere to grab a drink, eat or something, just to hide and actually cool down. So obviously you don't expose yourself to that heat for a long time. You have to work your day around, so mostly doing like indoors activities, or maybe some terraces with ACs if that exists. I've not seen that. But just work your day around and you'll be fine. Like, it calms down. Then many facilities also have pools, so if you're outside in a pool, it's completely different situation. Obviously also the water gets hot, but still it cools you down, so you can stay outside longer. Maybe you go to the beach, you can just plan the stuff. It's just pure walking, exploring, backpacking is probably not recommending during this time. Point number 3 is for my girlies out there, and obviously also men that like to take care of themselves, is that you will need a filter for your water. So basically the water here in Dubai is very strong, and it also has some metals that actually damages your hair. So what it means is when you're showering, you're putting the water on yourself, especially on your hair. It actually not only damages the hair in terms of the metals that it actually includes, but also it's so strong, the water is kind of like, imagine like being heavy, that it actually breaks your hair down. I am a white European girly, so my hair is extremely soft. It's just straight and soft. Like if you touch it, it doesn't even feel like hair. It's extremely like silky and soft. So my hair is very sensitive to be easily falling down if anything happens. There's a bit of wind, my hair is down. I'm just kidding. Not that bad, but you know what I mean. And here, if you put that water on your hair, at least with me, it was a disaster, complete disaster. I started losing the hair even more, with more frequency. So I freaked out. But luckily, what I just needed to do is to buy a filter that actually does these two things: protects you from the metals, but also softens the water, so it's not that strong, as I mentioned before. I believe I bought a filter that was from Pure Blue, and it costed me around 60 euros, and you can use it for up to 6 months, I believe. You may just need to replace the filter, maybe then you can continue. And that saved my life. So that's just a small tip, because sometimes people don't know about it. They come here, they start showering, and then they have this problem and they don't even know why. Obviously, it can be also connected with the shock of moving to a new country, maybe the food, but usually it's the water problem. Now, point number 4 is that food in Dubai is oftentimes imported. Obviously, because of the climate, not everything can be harvested here in Dubai locally. So a lot of things are imported from the countries around. Mostly it's US, India, Africa, Australia, China, like this part of the world. However, what you have to actually count with is that if you import the food, it will actually have added tax, so it's usually a bit more expensive. This I notice, the prices of the food are very similar to the prices in Europe, in particular in Vienna or in Austria. However, dairy products are very expensive. I mean, probably you can find some alternatives somewhere in like cheaper supermarkets. I believe the cheapest one is called Viva Supermarket. However, if you're just in a hurry and the closest supermarket is something like Spinneys or Waitrose, they're basically shops coming from the UK. This can be very expensive, especially cottage cheese, yogurts, quark, eggs, or liquid egg whites. All these things can really be expensive, and if you are doing like weekly grocery shopping, it can build up to easy 200 euros. So yeah, just keep this in mind, that the groceries can be actually very expensive here, especially if you're trying to eat healthy and you're looking also for some organic, maybe plant-based options. you know, it will be a bit more pricey. All right, tip number 5 is that Dubai is one of the safest cities in the whole world. So I already mentioned this in my previous video and I still stand by it. I've never felt safer somewhere else, maybe just in my village in Slovakia, which is like with 500 inhabitants and everyone knows everyone. But apart from that, if you're talking about big cities, I've never felt anywhere safer. To be honest, also in Vienna, I did live in a safe area, but I still had this very weird feeling. Usually when I was coming home late night, I was always on my phone with my boyfriend because I was a bit skeptical. And you know what? I don't need to do anything like that here in Dubai. I never had the urge to call my boyfriend because I was scared, or to take any precautions because I don't know, I feel like someone's following me, there is a man behind me. No, I feel completely safe. Maybe another factor that helps it is that everywhere on the street, outside, in the buildings, in the malls, at the work, everywhere are cameras. So I believe that also gives me the courage to not think that way. I believe the next tip is number 6, and this tip is that networking here in Dubai is huge. And I mentioned this also in my previous video, that basically knowing someone is even more important than what you know. Because this can bring you many opportunities, maybe connect you to even different people, promote you more, share you on their social media pages, can help you maybe somehow with your business, etc. There is a lot of successful people here, so I believe if they really are close with you or they believe in your business, they can really support you. My biggest tip is to really socialize. Try to go out and think of it that there is the network. You just need to find your right person. It only takes one person that can maybe help you and your whole business blows out. So, you know, the thing is that you need to keep this in mind, and with this mindset, try to approach people, try to look for that one person, and definitely do not leave Dubai without doing that. Another tip is that basically you have to keep in mind that Dubai is very fast-paced. Either it's because you have so much money and you're just enjoying the life, you're creating best memories, and I root for you, I'm really happy for you, but that also creates the fast lifestyle because you're trying to do so many activities that it runs quickly. Or maybe because you firstly need to work a lot in order to reach the other stage. And if you're working a lot, sometimes people are even working here 6 days a week. It's very normal. So yeah, like this was my case. I was really working here a lot, and I feel like this past 9 months just went so fast. So yeah, the time here in Dubai, everyone says so, just goes quicker. And the last tip from me is to keep in mind that there are definitely many hidden costs. As I mentioned before, you have to pay a lot of fees, you have to pay a lot of licenses, or maybe even deposits. So I would not recommend anyone to go here in Dubai without keeping that in mind and maybe saving some extra thousands of euros. Because without that, it's not really possible. It will just put too much pressure on you, especially if you're coming here alone. So please count with this extra cost and I believe you'll be fine. Alright, so we now reached the end of the video, and I want to say that Dubai can be definitely a beautiful city, and it definitely is. You just need to find the right approach, keep all these tips in mind before moving in, get ready for them, prepare for them, and you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be enjoying the city. Let me know down in the comments below whether this video helped you. If yes, definitely hit the subscribe button, follow me more on my social medias, and I'll see you in the next one.